Hello, welcome back to Video Gamers Oasis, website, YouTube channel. I'm your host, Jeremy, back with another website article highlight I want to whet your appetite with. On my website, videogamersoasis.com, in addition to being a online encyclopedia of video game knowledge, I also have some interesting blog articles for your enjoyment while you're having your cup of coffee, while you're having a lunch break at work, or perhaps you're in the bathroom. Some interesting articles for you to read. Very, if not intellectually stimulating, educational perhaps, or just entertaining. Article I'm looking up at is a friend of mine. His name is Glenn Cutforth. He is a long-term friend of mine. He introduced internet marketing to me. And he is also, if you look at his credits here at the bottom of the article, Glenn Cutforth is a London freelance writer, author, and movie buff. He can be reached at gcutforth@techsavvy.com. Now, I want to talk to you about an article that he wrote for my website a while ago. He's been writing actually a series of articles. I've dubbed his articles. He does movie reviews. So I've dubbed his series of articles Movie Reviews for Gamers and Geeks with Glenn Cutforth. The article that I like to talk about is the original 1982 movie Tron from Disney. And he wrote 1982 movie Tron, a flop at first, but eventually became a cult classic. Here's the original Tron trailer on the Disney Channel on YouTube. Reviewed by Glenn Cutforth. Director, Steven Lisberger. Writers, Steven Lisberger, screenplay, Steven Lisberger, story, and Bonnie McBird, story. Stars Jeff Bridges, David Warner, Box Leitner, and Cindy Morgan. In 1982, two groundbreaking films, Blade Runner and Gandhi, were released. Blade Runner was a flop in its original release, but over time became a cult classic as more people discovered the film on video. The visuals were dazzling, and the story was gripping, and the Vangelis soundtrack made the film a special experience. Gandhi was a story about one of the most iconic historical figures, starring Ben Kingsley as Gandhi. Kingsley won an Academy Award as Best Actor, and the film won Best Picture. And then there was Tron, a small Disney film that grossed $33 million domestically and $17 million on a $17 million budget. Although a moderate success, it was a financial disappointment since Disney wrote off part of its budget. Just a few years before the film's released, on a family trip to Niagara Falls, we played our first video game, Pong. That primitive, uncomplicated, simulated tennis game was simple in its gameplay, but at the time, quite amazing in how challenging and fun it was to play. Video games have come a long way since then. It was also the year I bought my first computer, a new and demanding environment that took me a year to figure out, but has become a major part of my everyday life, as it has for millions of people around the world. In Tron, computer programmer Kevin Flynn, played by Jeff Bridges, is swindled as an employee of the Encom Corporation by his former colleague Ed Dillinger, played by David Warner. Dillinger stole the ideas for several popular arcade games that Flynn had written, and Flynn is sure that if he can get inside Encom, that's E-N-C-O-M, Encom, he can successfully crack the system and find the stolen code, proving that the program Dillinger stole is in fact his. The film then creates a challenging environment for Flynn, who gets sucked into a computer and becomes a character named Clue, Codified Likeness Utility. Flynn, a hacker /arcade owner, is digitally broken down into a data stream by an evil software pirate known as Master Control, and reconstituted into the 3D graphical world of computers. In the intense landscape of cyberspace, Flynn joins forces with Alan Bradley / Tron, played by Bruce Boxleitner, and Laura Baines / Yori, played by Cindy Morgan, to overcome the Master Control program that holds them captive in a gigantic, considerably challenging computer game. I think part of the problem with the film at the time was that few computer geeks were around in those early days of personal computers. Thus, much of the potential audience really didn't understand what was going on. In addition, the story is a bit thin and somewhat confusing, especially if one had little experience with computers in 1982. Of course, that has changed, as we now have dazzling CGI in movies and video games that are almost as realistic as real life. Since half the film is colorized, from its original black and white, the film's special effects feel dated by current standards. Although the film's concept and ideas were interesting, the execution was somewhat lacking in emotional connections. Jeff Bridges is one of my all-time favorite actors, and he plays the part with serious-minded determination. And the great David Warner, Ed Dillinger / Sark / Master Control Program, is always a great villain. But mostly, the characters are secondary to the concept and the idea that a human could get sucked into a computer and become a simulated computer program. It's interesting to note that the inspiration for Tron came in 1976 when director / screenwriter Steven Lisberger saw the primitive, unpretentious video game Pong. He was fascinated by video games and wanted to do a film incorporating them. His inspiration has created a cult following and follow-up film, Tron Legacy, made in 2010, a video game, Tron Evolution, a TV series, Tron Uprising, in 2012, and a third Tron film has been announced. Currently, Tron has a 6.8 rating on the Internet Movie Database website. My rating, posted long ago, is 6. I think that's about right. In modern times, computers have invaded almost every aspect of our lives. We have our iPhones, our iPads, laptops, desktops, virtual reality, and cars now run on computer systems that make them last longer, but also make them more expensive to repair. And who knows, maybe, as Tron foretold, we'll be able someday to turn ourselves into computer software to battle the evil that lurks within our computer systems. And again, Glenn Cutforth is a professional movie buff and professional movie film article writer. He is a journalist, freelance journalist. So make sure to check this article out. There's a link in the description. I highly recommend you check it out. And I am Jeremy. You're watching Video Gamers Oasis website, YouTube channel. If you liked tonight's discussion of this interesting article by Glenn Cutforth, would you please give it a like, favorite, comment, share? I appreciate your feedback. Did you enjoy the original Tron made in 1982 by Disney, starring Jeff Bridges? I certainly enjoyed it. I had a good time. I'm kind of obsessed with the movie myself personally. I really loved the movie, even though it was kind of nerdy and kind of weird, especially for the time. But what is your opinion? What do you think about the movie Tron? Do you agree with Glenn's Cutforth's opinion of being emotionally distant? Do you think the movie is emotionally distant and kind of awkward for the 80s? Not many people liking that kind of genre. Leave your comments below. What if you saw the movie for the first time in 1982? What was your original impressions? I appreciate your feedback. Also, if you haven't already, please click the subscribe button and make sure that bell is wiggling. Ding, ling, 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 ling. Check out the social media links below and help support the work that I do by downloading the Brave browser. You can earn digital tokens, BATs, by watching the Brave ads. I'm Jeremy. You're watching Video Gamers Oasis on YouTube. Take care of each other. Have an awesome and prosperous October 2021. I'll see you again real soon with some interesting articles and more game-related videos. Till next time, bye.